I've done a Temu haul. Bit for the gram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you do, and TikTok, and Facebook, all of those. So as you can see, 3 parcels have arrived from Temu. I did a little bit of a Temu haul the other night, and it's all arrived. And in today's video, I'm going to unbox it all, see exactly what it is that I bought. I can't fully remember myself, but I do know it should be enough in here to get me fishing for the day. I've come down to one of my locals once again, Shearwater, where it should be good for a bite. So the quicker I unbox all this, the quicker we can get fishing and actually start using some of this kit. But before we jump into that, do make sure you're subscribed to me if you haven't done so already. My analytics tell me that stacks of you watch me but don't actually subscribe. So please take a few seconds out of your time to subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads like this and much, much more. And also follow me on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok, where I do lots more content outside of my main YouTube videos. And also, one more thing, a load of this is up for grabs for one of you lucky viewers. And all you got to do is stick around, because at some point in this video, I'm going to tell you how to get your hands on all the stuff you see in today's video. I think that's all the admin out of the way. Let's start unboxing. I'm going to start with this one. It's quite a large one. And I genuinely can't remember all of the items that I bought. I remember some of them, but let's see. Oh, let's get my knife. That's going to be a bit quicker. There we go. Oh. There we go. Now, one thing I do remember is that I spent a grand total of £200. This is the chair I thought it was. And all of the items were anything between a couple of quid up to about the 20 quid mark. I will be flashing the prices up on the screen. I won't be checking my phone every 5 minutes telling you the exact prices live. But here is the first item. Now this, from memory, is a little get yourself fishing chair. Not only that, it's got a compartment in the bottom for all your bits and pieces. So this should be ideal for travelling light. Everything you need in there, with like a little tackle box and things, which we'll get onto. There's a little pouch up the front there. Tell you what, we'll do the rest of the video with me actually sat on this. Ah, we're golden. So this is ideal for just travelling light. As I said, you've got the main compartment in the bottom, carry your sandwiches and all the little bits and pieces you need. But if you still want to have a little rest with a bit of back support, then you've got a chair that's sorted. So that is the first item. Let's keep all this over there, keep it a bit tidier. Onto the next package. Now this is one of the smaller ones, and I'm pretty sure in the other one should be a rod and reel. That's the main thing to get me actually fishing today. Now, what is this little item? This is another bite alarm. So I've got some more conventional looking bite alarms in this haul, I'm sure, but this one is one that you click on your rod and your line goes through this item, I believe, and should go off like an alarm. Let's see, does it have batteries in it? Oh, that's loud. It's the speaker, that's ridiculous. Annunciator, this is called. So it clicks onto your rod, like so. You put your line under that little loop, little metal loop, and as it pulls up, it obviously engages the alarm that's within, which, when you turn it on, it sounds like more of a conventional alarm. But then when you actually get a bite, it's more like an anti-theft alarm, shall we say. So quite a loud one. It does what it needs to. Bit of a funny one for the fishing scene, but we may stick it on the rod later on if there's no anglers around, because that is very, very loud. But actually, one thing I've noticed is actually got flashing LEDs on the front, which you would have saw before I did there. Turn that back off and pop it down to the side. But does what it needs to. Next up, nearly gave myself a circumcision there. Next up is a bite alarm. Now I know I've also bought a set of 3 of these, which is going to be part of the giveaway, but I bought a singular one just to get me fishing today because I've only got the one rod and reel set. And I did open this before I came here, I will admit, just to check if it had a battery. It didn't. It takes one of those square ones. There we have a more conventional looking bite alarm. So it takes one of the square 12-volt batteries on the rear. That's a simple, they should last a long time. And there's 4 buttons on the front. You got power, tone, volume and sensitivity. So turn it on. Interesting. Then the tone. There's multiple there. You've got sensitivity, I think it's 1 to 6 from what I tested last night. 3, 4, 5, 6, and back to 1, which is the most sensitive, and volume. Very loud. It also has a mute function, and then you've got the 2 LEDs. So that should work exactly as you need it to. Let's turn it back off for now, which is equally as loud, but it works. Does everything you need a bite alarm to do. So we've got this version of bite alarm and this one. Moving on to the next. Now this one I think might actually be the set of 3 version of that same alarm. So let me just check. We don't need to run through all the items. It is indeed. And also within this, it's not just 3 alarms, which comes in a nice presentation case actually. Everything's individually wrapped. So that alarm that I just showed you, 3 of them, but also 3 indicators as well, bobbins. All comes as a complete set in its own carry case. So that is one of the items that you guys will be winning. So it's perfect for someone starting out fishing, maybe needs a set of 3 alarms that does the job and will do them well. So there we are, that's the alarms. Next up, another small little package, and this is, oh, I got another one. I got a second one of those alarms. I didn't realise I bought 2. So this one is red LEDs, and you can actually see inside of this one of all the electronics. So we've got 2 of these now, a green one and a red one. I won't turn this one on again. You understand how it sounds and how it works. But that means I've now got 6 alarms in total for one rod and reel combo that I've got. That is bag number 2 complete, and on to the last one, but the biggest. Now let's open this one up, which I'm pretty sure will be the rod. It is indeed. So it's a very small pack down sized, and it's a Sougayilang 360 is the name of this one. Oh, that's so handy. How often do you get these rod bags where it's really small little loops you've got to tie a knot and they just don't work? Elastic, sorted, does the same thing but a lot quicker. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 piece. It's a perfect little pack that size for a travel rod. And I remember I bought this knowing that it was more dedicated for carp. So let's see if we can piece it all together in the correct orientation. Butt section for a longer handle. That's quite a decent length handle. Good grip, slots together well. A reel seat, can't see a brand on it. There we go. I would say, because I'm not sure what the cast and weight of this is, that feel, oh, it does say carp 12 foot, so it's a 12 foot rod. So it's a 7 piece 12 foot, 3.5 pound test curve, high carbon. Now, having worked in the fishing industry long enough, I know what a 3.5 pound 12 foot rod feels like. And I can tell you that is more like a 3 maximum. But that should be perfect for today. It's got a good whip to it, should cast well, feels solid, feels robust, and it should take the reel, which I know is in this package as well. So, happy with that. Ah, yes. You know what this looks like. So hopefully I can get some bait out with this today. There we go. Perfect. So I need to get some bait out today. Now on this trip, I'm just going to be using pretty much a boilie only approach. My last session up here, I decided to introduce some pellet and solid bags and got bream after bream after bream. So boilie only for today. And hopefully that keeps the bream at bay and the carp keep coming. On to the next. So we have some ready tied hair rigs, 6-pack, size 6 hooks with hair, so it looks like a supple braid. Really simple, get you fishing. So ideal for the one that struggles, and they've almost got a bit of a blowback look to them. They've got a little bit of tubing on the shank which holds the hair in position. I'm not sure if that's part of the packaging or the actual, no, I think that is part of the rig itself. So it's kind of like a blowback finish hair rig. Comes complete with the swivel on the end, so you can just attach that straight to your main line, or to a lead clip or something, and you should be fishing. Pop that to the side. Up next, we have a swinger, dedicated swinger. So this is Excellent Tackle Swinger Fishing Accessory. Swinger features an adjustable line clip and screw-on weight system. Screw-on weights are 2 different sizes which can be added or removed to increase or decrease tension of the fishing line. There we go, that's perfect. It's going to go hand in hand with the bite alarm. So that is perfect. Onwards. This is multi-tackle box carp fishing. So multi-tackle box live stick means dealing with something that's easily accessible and well organized to help target expansion of fish more effectively. Features 26 compartments of various sizes, small compartments, secure lids, small lids, space for swivel feet, medium compartments with secure lids, full base, and long total. That's why deep enough to take small equipment to grips or scissors, etc. Whose carb rig board over the line, ready rigs, 5 and 10 rig ends, tensively measured bar on the front of the active rig, press opening lid and close. Terms and conditions may apply. So, it's a tackle box. I don't believe it's full, but that solid, robust plastic, and it's quite secure. So for a magnetic lid, you'd worry that that would open. It's not, so the magnetic lid is plenty strong enough. Open it up, there you have a little rig board, so you can put ready tied rigs, some smaller compartments here. That rig board lifts, you've actually got some space underneath. Then you've got loads of compartments for swivels and things like that. That is all you need in a tackle box, really. Keeps everything nice and neat and tidy. Job's good and you're sorted. And it even has a measuring guide on the front up to 8 inches, so for measuring your rigs. That is really, really solid. Can't see any issues with that whatsoever. Proper job. On to the next. Christmas and birthdays get a bit boring as you get older because you just ask for mundane things that you need. But now that I'm unpacking this, oh, is this another chair? I forgot I bought 2 chairs. So, this one, similar to what I'm sat on at the moment, but doesn't have a back on it. Differently, I need to set up the straps. That clicks down here when you've got things in it. Perfect. So for a day session, shut that on your back with everything you need. But if you still need a little bit of a rest, pop it down like that. I think this would actually be perfect for festivals as well, because it's a little perch. If you get tired, you need to sit down and there's nowhere else to sit. But also you can have all your essentials in there. Obviously this is meant for fishing with your tackle box and things like that, but a few cans of cider in there. Set this out for a little perch. That is absolutely ideal. So there you are, 2 bags, which also hold loads of your tackle and items for your session. But we aren't done. There's still some items in this box, quite a few actually. So next up is the reel. So this is going to go on the rod, of course. So this is the Sougayilang ARP. Oh, spool's just falling out. ARP. ARP. Carp. If I saw the big C, I can see it's pronounced carp. ARP, Carp Fishing KT5000. So I remember there was several different sizes of this reel. I went for the 5000 size, and if you've known me long enough or watched my previous videos, you know I'm a sucker for a gold spool. On my main kit, I have some Daiwa gold spool rods and reels, sorry. So I do love the look of that, and that nice and robust. So let's tighten that up. This has a free spool function as well. So you click the back and you want to free spool, and then you wind or click it forwards, and you're then into the drag that you set for playing a fish. And the finish of it is actually really interesting. It's like a multicolored dark purple with blues and blacks. So that's going to be nice and shiny in the sun. It's an interesting look. Rubberized grip handle. All just looks really nice. Absolutely does the job. So let's attach that onto the rod. There we go. My rod and reel combo for the day. Sweet. And there is also a spare spool. So if you don't like the gold, there is a black spare spool for it as well. Carrying on. Handy little rig puller tools. You can never have too many rig pullers. They seem to be the sort of thing that you lose constantly. But for the sort of rigs I like to tie up with fluorocarbon, you want to pull them straight or steam them and not burn your fingers. A couple little rig puller tools. That's exactly what you need them to. And I went for obvious bright orange so that if you did drop them, I can still see it. There's nothing worse than something that matches the colour of the ground and you're scouring it in the dark trying to find something. So ideal, 2 little rig pullers. Next up we have lead clip, 45-pound lead core leaders with quick change kit, light camo. So let's open this up. Oops, got some swivels. And there we have, ready to go, lead clip setup. Next up, some double-ended bait screws. So for adding toppers onto snowman rigs, maybe you've got a rig tied up, you've got a bait already on, but you want to add a topper to it, but you haven't flossed it on, you're using bait screws. You use one of these to screw into the bait you've already got attached, and add another one on the top, or something like that. Then we have this, which I'm glad I brought some extra line, because when I bought this, I thought this was a big spool. That is not going to fill up the reel I bought, so it's a good job I brought some line with me to fill up the spool, but this is fluorocarbon, 0.30 millimeter, so it's 15.7 pounds and 120 meters of it. So it's quite a bit on there, but that's mainly going to be for my rig tying, not filling up that spool. So it doesn't take a genius to realise that that's not going to fill up this spool all the way. Next up we have a butt grip. So this is one of those magnet sort of snag fishing butt lock grips, which pops open, rod goes in, secures it nicely in there. Will this fit on this one? Yes, it does. Next up, we have some bait screws. Nice and simple for finishing off my rigs, attaching my bait. Next up, we have some surface controllers. Perfect. So, if the sun comes out today, which it's not supposed to, but I know this place is good for a bite on the top, we have some surface controllers, or at least I believe they are. They look like them when I bought them, so hopefully they float and they do the job if we get them on the top later on. Next up, hooks. So we've got hooks all the way from the size, I'd say probably a size 12 all the way up to probably a 4. There are quite a lot of hooks in there. Happy days. Next up, we have some PVA mesh. You can never have too much PVA. I love putting out little bags and boilies and stuff. Then we have some quick chain swivels, always handy. This is, it looks like a basing needle set. So we have closed latch needle, a sort of boilie latch needle, a bigger latch needle in its own separate little packet. And is there something else there? Yes, there is. What's this one? A bait screw. So there we are, a 4-piece bait needle set, red handles, grippy. So again, shouldn't lose those, but I'm in quite deep grass here, so I'm going to pop them back in its packet and put it to one side. I'm nearly there, I promise, but there's still a few more items to go. Another small one. So these are just more quick chain swivels, some with bigger loops, some without. We're nearly there, a couple items left. This one is putty, finish off your rigs with a bit of putty. And lastly, I think this is, let's have a last little rummage. Yep, that's all of it. Now I'm pretty sure this one is a bank stick. So I can put the bite alarm and hang it on here. Matte black finish with a quick change or height adjustment on the top and a rather recognisable S logo on there as well. So that is everything. I'm going to get myself set up and then we'll start fishing and put some of this to the test. Well, first things first, we need to bed in the new lines. I've loaded this up with just 18-pound mono, I think it is. And as I said, this is supposed to be a 12-foot, 3.5-pound test curve. As you can see, it's far from that. So I think it's probably closer to a 3, and that's at a push. So it's softer than it's stated. Let's see how it actually performs. So I've got a 3-ounce lead on there, one of those lead core leaders to a lead clip, and let's see how it goes. Well, the cast's all right. That was easily 80 yards, first cast. Reel feels nice and smooth. Probably see how that reel glistens now in the sun. But for first cast, not bad. We'll give it one more, proper give it the beans. Okay, not bad. And you got to remember this is a 7-piece. I felt the handle slip a little bit, but that's probably because I didn't have it bedded in enough. Now it is. Like I say, that's easily, it's getting up towards 100 yards. Okay, I reckon that is probably about the 100-yard mark now. So 3 casts in, bit of a shorter drop than I'm used to because it's a softer rod, but because it's softer, I think it means that the rod's just doing a bit more. Well, sounding like a angling journalist. I think it casts well, but I think it's going to be a really nice rod to play fish on. So let's get a rig tied up, some bait out there, and actually start fishing. We now know that it casts, so time to put some bait out there. So put the spom on there, and I'm just going with a purely boilie only approach this time. Last time I was here, I put some pellet out, and I got bream, and then another bream, and then another bream. So this time I'm just going with boilie only, and I'm actually using Isofish covered in Smart Liquid, which I put on it last night. They absolutely stink, and that feels quite heavy on this rod. So I think however far this goes is kind of going to be the distance we're going to fish today. I don't need to go too far out, it's quite shallow at this end. First attempt at putting the spot out. Okay, well that's going to do. So let's put it in the clip there. Should be able to consistently go there all day. And we're aiming directly for the trees opposite. So it is quite soft, this rod, but what do you expect? It's a 7-piece. There we go. Well, that's 2 for 2 with the spom so far of it opening. It's retrieving well, it's filling quite a good amount. So far, no issues with the spom itself. I'm going to put out probably 10 spods and then get the rod out. Well, that's the clutch set for when I'm playing a fish. If I flick it to the free spool, that's set perfect for when it's down on the rest. And the setup I'm using is pretty similar to how I'd normally fish, give or take a few differences. Starting with the main line, that's just some 15 or 18 pound mono that I brought with me to spool up the reel in case the fluoro that I got in the bundle wasn't enough to spool up the reel, which it wasn't, so that's just on there. Then that goes down to one of the pre-tied lead core leaders, which I got, which was a set of 4, I believe it was, down to a lead clip setup. Now this, I haven't got the bung in, so if the fish shakes its head, that lead will become running on the line, like so. Or if it does become snagged or for whatever reason, or I crack off, it's ultra safe because that rubber bung will also come off, that lead will come free. So it's fishing ultra safe. There's everything you need a lead core leader to do. That goes down to the rig. Now the material there is that fluorocarbon that came in the kit. I've just got a little anti-tangle sleeve on the connector to the quick change swivel, which is part of the leader setup. And that goes down to, I think it's the size 6 hook that was in the pack with one of the hook ring screws. And I've got a 15mm cell wafter trimmed down on there so it sits perfectly on the bottom. The only thing I've done is just crushed in the barb ever so slightly on the hook because they are a little bit too aggressive for my liking, but it's quite a sharp point and a beaked point, or sort of beaked tip to it. So they look like good hooks. They'll actually do the job. They're quite shiny, so they're not coated or anything, but to be honest, I don't think fish really mind as much as us anglers do. So that's the setup. The clutch is all set. The bait is out there. I've got about 10 spots of boilies out there, so this is just going to go out over the top, and hopefully it won't take long until carp turn up and not bream. Just get it out there. I hear carp on the way down. 100%. There was a dunk and then another dunk. It's only a few feet deep, but as soon as I hit the water, I hit a carp. So sorry, mister, but hopefully there's a nice mouthful of bait for you with your name on it just below you now. So that is now set. The free spool function is clicked on. Now we'll move down to the alarm and set that up. There we go. Tighten that up. Sorted. And now the bobbin clicks on like so. Alarm on. It's on mute, so let's turn it on. That'll be enough. Let's change the tone. There we go. Sorted. Oh, net. The forecast was for cloud all day and nothing more. So I brought all the cameras along with me, but for the last 2 hours it's rained pretty much solidly. So apologies, you've been exclusively on the action camera, but this is bite number 2. After changing from fishing on the deck to fishing on the top, I saw them cruising around and thought I might as well fish for them where they are rather than sitting hoping to get a bite on that bite alarm. So I changed over to one of the surface controllers that I bought. They don't fit quite perfectly with the swivel, so I had to bore out the hole a little bit, put a swivel in, but it's done the job. First one hooked itself, this one I struck, and it's the biggest one of the two. And I'd say it's getting upwards towards the 20-pound mark, but probably just a couple of pounds shy to be fair. But good fun, fish are still out there. Although it's raining and miserable, overcast, the fish clearly want to feed on the top. Let's get a few snaps of this, slip it back, hopefully get a few more. With that fish slipped back, I quickly got a couple more spots out of mixers and they're already out there. So let's ping this back out, which, may I add, this rod casts really, really nicely. I think because it's a softer action, it's not a 3.5 that it states, it's more of a 3, but it means that playing action today has been really good fun. Cast this out really nicely, and these surface controllers absolutely whiz out. They may not be the heaviest, but they're really streamlined. That's now sat in the zone, so we may get a bite very, very quickly. I think one nearly at it. And while we wait for this to go off, just to quickly tell you how to get your hands on all the stuff you've seen me using today. Couldn't be simpler, and it's completely free. What you want to do is find the thumbnail for this video over on my Instagram, which again, is Nothing But Fishing. Make sure you're following me on there, of course, and then comment on that picture and like it. Comment in, tagging 3 of your friends. That's all you're going to do. You're entered, it's free, and within a week of this video going live, that's when the competition will end, and one of you lucky people will be chosen at random, and it'll be going to you. That's all you got to do. How has that not gone off? There's fish all over me. Oh. There we go. Oh. Well, it didn't quite happen on cue when I was talking to camera, but only a few seconds after. And this will be fish number 3. Look at that play in action. Proper smooth bend. And one of the things I'm really impressed with is the fact that this is a 7-piece rod, remember. The butt section is its own section, which, whilst I'm playing a fish, I can pop off if I like. So that just shows how many sections this breaks down into. Perfect for traveling abroad, maybe sticking it in a suitcase. But then the playing action is perfect. Really, really smooth. There's no flat spots or whatever. Genuinely impressed with this, and it will be coming on holiday with me. Well, not this one, someone's winning it. But I'll probably get one myself. He's nearly ready for the net, so I'm gonna go net him because it gets pretty shallow down here. Then we'll carry on fishing and hopefully just keep on smashing him out. Don't know what that was. Ooh. Oh boy. Come on. Oh. That is a really, really nice playing action. And coupled with this reel, which as you can see, isn't set light, it's really smooth clutch. Perfect little balance for surface, and off he goes again. Really smooth clutch, so it's not jumping, it's doing everything it needs to, and it's quite a fine-tuned clutch. So if I start to loosen that, there it starts to go. It's not like it's a couple clicks and then it's solid, but he is giving me a good scrap. Come on, boy. Come on. Boy, he's in. Well, I think I've ended today on 4, maybe 5 carp. I have tried and tried and tried for the last hour, maybe 2, to get another one since putting that last one back. And the carp are there, they are there in numbers, but so are the ducks. The bird life has been absolutely relentless, something I've never experienced as bad as this today. It's been super, super frustrating, but that's fishing. I've enjoyed the carp that I did catch. It was great to put the rod and reel through its paces. It would have been nice to use the alarm a bit more and some of the other bits and pieces that I got, but at the end of the day, I got to fish from where they're wanting to feed, and that was on the surface. So I've had great fun today, and remember to get involved on the competition, head over to my Instagram and get involved on there. Like the photo, make sure you follow me and tag 3 friends in the comment section and you're entered. And after a week of this video going live, that competition ends and everything you've seen today will be going your way. But that's everything from me for now. Cheers for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.